Bevor wir Sheikh Sherif die Möglichkeit geben, wir möchten, dass einer unserer Shuyukh hier, Sheikh Ibrahim, wird ein bisschen den Koran rezitieren, damit wir uns noch mehr konzentrieren und dann wird Sheikh Sherif kommen, inshallah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم إن الذين لا يرجون لقاءنا ورضوا بالحياة الدنيا واطمأنوا بها والذين هم عن آياتنا غافلون أولئك مأواهم النار بما كانوا يكسبون إن الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات يهديهم ربهم بإيمانهم تجري من تحتهم الأنهار في جنات النعيم دعواهم فيها سبحانك اللهم تحيتهم فيها سلام وآخر دعواهم عن الحمد لله رب العالمين ولو يعجل الله للناس الشر استعجالهم بالخير لقضي إليهم أجلهم فنذر الذين لا يرجون لقاءنا في طغيانهم يعمهون وإذا مس الإنسان الضر دعانا لجنبه أو قاعدا أو قائما فلما كشفنا عنه ضره مر كأن لم يدعنا إلى ضر مسه كذلك زين للمسرفين ما كانوا يعملون ولقد أهلكنا القرون من قبلكم لما ظلموا وجاءتهم رسلهم بالبينات فما كانوا ليؤمنوا كذلك نجزي القوم المجرمين ثم جعلناكم خلائف من بعدهم لننظر كيف تعملون صدق الله العظيم.
Takbir. MashaAllah. This is Sheikh Ibrahim, Imam, African Muslims Association in Bremen. Inshallah, we are going to call upon our honorable guest, Sheikh Sherif. As most of you know, Sheikh Sherif is a Ghanaian scholar living here in abroad for almost 30 years now. His main place where he's living is in Finland. Sheikh Sherif has been in this dawah since the first time he arrived in abroad. That we can say almost 30 years he has been propagating the Islam here in Europe. He has been in a lot of Europe cities, countries, been in Italy, Germany many times, Belgium, and as I know he has been in the side of Russia also. Sheikh is always very active. For those of you who are always on the social media, you will see him almost every day delivering his lectures always on the social media. We are honored to have Sheikh Sherif here in Bremen, and we are very thankful for him having the time to join us here in Bremen. We have given Sheikh a very, very, very important and difficult topic to lecture us on. As we all know, we have a lot of issues concerning us and our family. A lot of divorce, children taken away from homes, and most problems concerning monetary and all other stuffs. We gave Sheikh this topic concerning family. How can we live with our family according to Islam? Sheikh is going to deliver his speech in English, and inshallah we will summarize it very short in German language. After the talk of Sheikh, inshallah we will have question and answer concerning any monetary problems or any issue we are having at home. Feel free, as I already said, Sheikh is in this field for almost 30 years now, so he had a lot of experiences. As we all in Scandinavia, he's also doing counseling concerning marital problems and all these stuffs. And he's having the certificate even to marry according to Islamic rules. So he has a lot of experience in this field. So feel free to ask him any question you have. Sheikh is going to be with us the whole day today, inshallah, up to tomorrow before he will return back to Finland. Sheikh, Faisal, فليتفضل مشكورا.
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا من يهديه الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلوات الله وسلامه عليه أما بعد يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما أما بعد فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. Respected brothers and sisters, I greet you with the greeting of Islam. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. All thanks and praise are due to Allah. I bear witness that He is the only one with no associate, and Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is His servant and messenger. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran after A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu ittaqullaha haqqa tuqatihi, O you who believe, fear Allah the way you should be feared and never die unless in the state of Islam. Allah says again, O mankind, fear your Lord who created you from one soul, and from that soul He created for him his partner, and from the twain He created for them their offsprings. So fear your Lord from whom you obtain your sustenance, and fear them who that bore you, because Allah is watching over you. I'm very honored to be here today, alhamdulillah, with brothers and sisters, some we've met before and others also. Maybe this is the first time. Before I begin, inshallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in accordance with the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, who says that whenever people come together in a house within the house of Allah and then they are reading the Quran and learning about this religion, they will be doing that unless or until Allah send unto them what is known as Sakina, which is tranquility. Then Allah will make angels also to descend unto them, and angels will sit within them, praying for them, and Allah Himself will be remembering them above, that means in a place that is more better than where they are. So when you come here together, brothers, you have to understand that every step that you took from your house with the intention of coming to the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, either to listen or to also play part in this very meeting, you have to understand that every step that you take, you are given a reward and a bad deed is erased. This is in accordance with the hadith of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And while you are seated here, for how long you're going to sit until you return to your homes, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to make the angels to be praying for you. And every prayer of the angel is completely automatically accepted by Allah. And also, while you return to your homes, also every step you take, you get a reward and Allah erases the bad deed. So coming here alone, alhamdulillah, is a very great honor for each and every one of us. May Allah reward us all. In the topic that was given to me, how to live together with your family in Europe, today in accordance with the Sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, what we have to understand is that Islam, ever since Allah has made creation, has never changed and will never change. If we want to live our lives in the way that will please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and in accordance with the teachings of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, so that we can also be happy in our lives until we leave this world, then we still have to live in the way that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and his companions lived with their families until they departed this world. For Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, وَأَنَّ هَذَا, that means this deen, it is a very straight deen. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not change anything until the day of judgment. Now, what we have to understand is that if we want to talk about a family reunion, we have to show or understand the importance of every step that a human being is going to take concerning his life with his wife. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made his plan, he created our father. We all agree that the one who was created by the hands of Allah was our father Adam alayhi salam. Then he made Adam alayhi salam to live in Jannah for a period of time. Some scholars say 40 years. Allah Adam. In any case, he was a lonely human being in Jannah for a very long time until he felt that he had needed someone like him. There were other creatures, maybe animals and others, but they were not like Adam alayhi salam. So one day while he was asleep, Allah removed a rib from the left part of his body and made a creation again. And that creature was known. When Adam alayhi salam, after he woke up from his sleep, he saw another stranger by him. Then he asked, "Who are you?" Then she said, "Al-Mar'a," a woman. He said, "Why were you created?" He said, "So that I find comfort in you and you find comfort in me." That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, وَمِنْ آيَاتِهِ أَنْ خَلَقَ لَكُم مِّنْ أَنفُسِكُمْ أَزْوَاجًا لِتَسْكُنُوا إِلَيْهَا. That within His mercy, within His favor unto you, He created from you yourself your wife. So Allah has made Adam alayhi salam to feel the pain of being alone. It is what you have to understand. When you're also going to get married, you have to understand that as a man, you cannot live alone unless you live with a second person. And that second person is the one who is going to be the mother of your children, the one who is going to be your life partner, the one in case you die who is going to take care of your children. Just as you would like your father to love your mother, so it is that you also have to love your wife in the same way. So the intention is very, very important. Remember, our father was alone until he found our mother, Hawa. So he said that I find comfort in you and you find comfort in me. This comforting, when we refer to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we realize that he got married to a woman who was 50 years older than him. But the intention was good. Because at that time he was not ready to get married because he felt he was young, he was poor and everything, but he was working, trying to help his uncle who took care of him while he was actually a small or a young boy. And so Khadija radiallahu anha, who was his boss, proposed through the slave lady or through the servant of Khadija, made a plan and there was a connection. Khadija radiallahu anha married, of course she was a divorcee, and also she was rich and very beautiful. People would like to marry her, not because of her character or they would like to be with her, but because of her money. But when she proposed to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, through that lady, it happened that the marriage was actually confirmed, and that was a plan of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from above. 50 years older than him. But we have to understand, if we look at the marriage of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in reality, ulama will come to a conclusion that the person that Prophet ﷺ married and lived a married life with was Khadija radiallahu anha. For all his life, he lived with Khadija without a second wife. And he had all his children with Khadija except Ibrahim alayhi salam, meaning that the last child. And he spent all his youth age with Khadija radiallahu anha. He found comfort in Khadija radiallahu anha. Khadija lost her son Abdullah while he was a child and she was crying. Allah sent Jibreel alayhi salam to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, saying Allah is greeting Khadija radiallahu anha. There were two people that Allah sent from above that he should greet them, and they were Khadija and Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu anhuma. And Khadija had a very, very special place in Islam. Look at her house. Prophet found comfort in her. When he was every time withdrawing from all what people were worshipping, in order that he can contemplate about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he didn't receive any message at that time. The first time Jibreel alayhi salam landed on the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, saying, Iqra, read. The first time that was revealed to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, as the story actually concluded, Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam became very frightened. And what did he do? Straight away he went home. It's just like any of us. Right now, if we are here, we enjoy, we talk and we laugh and everything. But the closest person to you is your wife. When you have a problem here, you ask me, but I have this problem, that problem, I will say, inshallah, Allah will make dua, Allah make dua. When you leave, or I leave, I don't remember you again because I have my own problems. But when you go home and you tell your wife, I have this problem, she cannot sleep. because she knows that if you're not happy, the family is not happy. If you're not happy, your children are not happy. We are drawing ourselves very closer to our wives to see how much importance is in your partner. So when Rasulullah hurried home, he didn't go to his friend, nor his uncle, nor anybody. He went to his wife, Khadija, saying, Zamiluni, Zamiluni, or Dathiluni, trying to find himself, to find comfort. Khadija, Allah gave her hikmah. Hikmah means wisdom. And Allah says, anyone Allah gave wisdom, then Allah has given a lot of good. So he said, oh Khadija, he was actually complaining. And she said, Allah will not abandon you. She felt this thing was not human, it's something that is spiritual. Then she reminded him about the good things that he used to do. He helped the orphans, he helped the wayfarers, he was so good. So this is something divine, and Allah will not abandon you because you are a good person. She encouraged him. Still, Prophet as a human, he was still shivering and then afraid. Then she asked him, can you still see that person you saw? He said, yes. Then she said, okay, come. She made him to sit on her laps. Can you still see him? He said, yes. Then according to some quotation, she undressed herself. And she made him to sit on his lap. And then she asked, can you still see him? He said, no. Then she said, then that is not Satan. For Satan will not be in a place when you are seated on me in this way, in this manner. So you see, he is to be a prophet, or Allah had revealed on him when he gave hikmah to who? Khadija. So she was the first human being to accept the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That was how important. So he found comfort in Khadija radiallahu anha before the message would go out. And she advised him to contact her uncle, as we all know, because he was also a godly person. So she drew him towards someone who can be like him. That is how you can see how important your wife is. How closer you have to be to her and closer that she has to be with you. And all this can only be based on truth and ikhlas, sincerity. Trust is very, very important in marriage. If there is no trust, then the whole marriage is just a distraction. So trust is very important. We shall come to that inshallah as time goes on. So now we've realized that the importance of being or getting married is something that is known as decreed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. A man cannot live alone, and a woman cannot also live alone. Man cannot live with a man, and woman cannot be living with what? With a woman. So Allah says, Ya ayyuhan nas, ittaqu rabbakum alladhi khalaqakum min nafsin wahida wa khalaqa minha zawjaha. After creating the two of them, then he said, وَبَثَّ مِنْهُمَا رِجَالًا نِسَاءً. So Allah did the creation, but now you are playing part. So marriage is a plan that you are also playing part in order to please Allah. So getting married, it means that you are also forming a part of the procreation. Because by coming together, you also do what? You produce. So it is something that you are doing in order to satisfy Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, apart from the satisfaction that you will get. So you are rewarded for getting married. Secondly, it is also important, one of the importance of marriage is that you are also showing love to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who said that we should get married and increase the population of the Muslims. So by doing this, you are also playing another part, showing love to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who also says, "Istawsu bin nisa'i khayra." You should show kindness to your wives. فَإِنَّهُنَّ خُلِقْنَا مِنْ دِلَعٍ. That because the women are created from the rib. We all know that the rib, he said the rib is not straight, it is crooked. Crooked means that it's bent. So if you try to straighten it, he said the most bent part of it is the head. If you try to straighten the rib, it will do what? It will break. But if you allow it to remain crooked, it's crooked, but still you do what? You have it. It means Allah has created a woman in a very different manner. Different character, different feelings, and everything. There are things that are in the woman that are not in you. So there shall be times that you misbehave. The misbehavior is the crookedness that is in her. If you try to straighten that, means you want to force her to go in accordance with the way you want her to, it will break, meaning that it might end in a divorce. and divorce is neither good for you nor her. So what is very important is that allow her, sometimes you have to bear what is in her. So now, the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ has made us to understand that we have to show kindness to our wives. And one of the importance of marriage also is this, that Allah will give you or will enrich you with children. And children are very important for you. Here in this world, if you take care of them, you will benefit from them in this world, benefit from the children while you are in your grave, and it will result to you going to Jannah. How? Because the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ says, when a person dies, everything comes to an end except three. Then he says, Sadaqatun Jariyah, you made some sadaqah that is still benefiting people while you are already gone. Then ilmun, some knowledge you have taught people that is still benefiting them. Then he said, Awaladun Saleh Yadula, or a good child. He didn't say any child. Why did he say a good child? A good child because you've taken care of him to know Allah, to know the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, to know that he has to get closer to Allah by having a good character and so on. So when you die, he is the one who can be able to pray for you. One gentleman once asked a scholar, he said, am I part of the good children that the Messenger of Allah ﷺ has mentioned? Then he told him this very short sentence. He said, do you make dua for your parents? He said, if only you make dua for your parents, it means you are a good child. But if you don't make dua for your parents, then you are not a good child. He said, because the Prophet said, وَلَدٌ صَالِحٌ يَدْعُو. So let's try to be good children, we who have already lost our parents. Meaning, every time you make your salah, try to make dua for your parents. Remember, what you do for your parents is the same Allah is going to also make your children do for you. As Allah said to Musa, that Musa, respect your parents, for if you respect your parents, I will enrich you with children who will respect you. But if you disrespect your parents, then I will also enrich you with children who will disrespect you. Good. And within the importance of marriage also is a protection from evil. Evil in the sense that you don't have to go in order to commit zina or fornication. These are the cause the anger of Allah, and also they please Satan. So that's what the Prophet ﷺ said, Ya ma'ashar al-shabab, O company of youth, man istata'a minkum al-ba'ata falyatazawwaj. Anybody who is having the capability to get married, then he should get married. Because that one will protect you from what is haram and also give you safety of what is in between your thighs. So that getting married is more important than not getting married. Even though you may say, okay, I'm taking time, that is something that is, of course, individually, whether you are ready or not. But someone came to the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, a young boy, and said, Messenger of Allah, I want you to give me permission so that I can commit adultery with anyone I want. That means I can fornicate with any girl, I can even go with anyone, anytime. He's asking permission. Then the Sahaba became very angry, they wanted to shut him down. The Messenger of Allah said, allow him. He has come to me and not you. Then he said, would you like to do it with your mother? He said, no, I came through here. Your aunt, your sister, all those women related to him by blood, he asked whether he would like to do with them. He said, no. He said, then why would you like to do with someone's mother, someone's uncle, someone's aunt, someone's sister, and so on? Then the boy understood him, and he said, Messenger of Allah, pray to Allah for Allah to guide me. Then the Messenger of Allah said, oh Allah, guide him and purify his private parts. You see, the Messenger of Allah, he made the Sahaba to understand. Even the boy was so happy that he said, Messenger of Allah, pray for me. May Allah bless you and I, but not these people. Then the Prophet said, okay, they are your brothers in Islam. He came and he wanted an answer to a problem that is affecting him. And actually he came to the best person, who is Muhammad ﷺ, and Messenger of Allah gave him the right answer. That is how we have to treat people. Look at how he treated a child. In our days, if you say this to your parents, I'm very sure you're not going to look at their faces again for 1 month. It is a complete, for instance, we are here, we don't know why we don't eat the pork meat, okay? Because it's hard to ask about the pork, or to ask why you don't drink alcohol and so on. But today we are in a system that our children are supposed to be our friends, whereby we have to reason with them. We shall come to that inshallah as time goes on. The second thing we have to understand is that marriage is jihad. Jihad in the sense that it is not easy to keep a family. So everything you do concerning your family is a jihad. But who to marry, that's the first jihad. Who to marry. If we say who to marry, the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam taught us very simple. He said, we marry because of four. One of the four. Then said, Imma limaliha, either because she is rich, I can get some advantage of being rich, or I don't have any problem, or jamaliha, or because she is what? She is beautiful, so looking at her beauty, and people will admire me, or people will praise me because I have a beautiful wife, or because she has a position, she can help me in something that is worldly, so you help her, or you marry her because of that, and then, or because of her deed. Then the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam made a choice for us. He said, "Fazfar bizaati deen." Take care for her deen. He said, "Man tazawwaja imra'atan limaliha lam yazilhu Allah illa faqra." If you marry her because of her money, Allah will not add to you except poverty. If you marry her because of her position, Allah will not add except weakness. If you marry her because of her beauty, Allah will not add to your life except ugliness. But if you marry her for her deed, Allah will now protect you for her and she for you. You will grow with her even to an old age, still you love her. Let's take our mothers for example. If you look at the way our mothers lived with our fathers, and just think, metaphorically, you ask yourself, why did our fathers love our mothers? You're going to understand. Because she's either in the kitchen, she's selling in the market, she's going to carry wood, she's in the smoke cooking. Nothing is there to show any beauty. Our wives today, before you enter the house, the whole house is smelling nice perfume. The next time she's in the market, she's buying good, nice clothes. So how did our fathers, they love our mothers? Sometimes you can live in the same room or two rooms and you are with your father and all your siblings. You don't know how still the population increased, but still children are coming. You see that? So they knew exactly the importance of marriage. When there is problem in the marriage and in the house, so many times our fathers become more stronger over our mothers, either insulting them, sometimes even go to the extent of beating when they become angry and so on. That is not right, okay? But our mothers do what? They actually absorb this. Not that they like the situation. Sometimes if you ask them, they say because of you. Because they don't want the children to go astray. No mother can sit and see another woman mothering her children. So you have all these patience in order to remain in the marriage. So the Prophet ﷺ says that we marry them because of the deen. And if you have to marry her because of her deen, one, if you marry her because of her deen, the second thing is also her behavior or character. What I'm saying for the man is the same for the woman. So that it doesn't mean that you have to see the best and you are not good. No, it doesn't go that way. But you are to marry her because of all these conditions. She also has right to look at you in these conditions. So apart from the deen, she prayed not because her father is a sheikh, not because her father is no. Sometimes can come back to her, maybe she's not praying. Maybe she's not good like her father or her mother. How is she herself as a person? That's very important. Secondly, her character, the way she behaves at home. And thirdly, look at her to know whether you admire her. Is very important. Someone came to the Prophet Muhammad and said, Messenger of Allah, I'm going to marry so and so person. Then he said, have you seen her face? Did she remove her hijab so you can even see the beauty of her neck? He said, try to see what is calling you to the lady. So that you don't marry her after that when she comes to the room every time you are in glasses. No. This is someone you are going to get married to for a lifetime. So this is the first. He has to see and she has to also see. So many times we think that our daughters should get married to a certain group of people. So we actually force them to get married either to someone in our country, someone. In any case, this forcing in Islam is not actually allowed. From the days of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, "Do not force your daughters into marriage." The same thing of Allah, but how can you know that even actually she will agree to allow someone who has come to ask about her? Then he said, agreement of a young girl is her silence. If you ask her, do you love this man who is asking for you? If she loves, she shows some shyness, okay, some shame, as if she doesn't want to answer, that means it is a confirmation. But if you ask and she starts to be angry at that time, even though she won't say anything, do not pressure her. Remember, you are putting her to a place where she's going to live her life under those maybe forever. But marriage, you don't have to live in pain. This Prophet's daughter Fatima radiallahu anha, when her husband Ali bin Abi Talib radiallahu anhu wanted to get married to the daughter of Abu Jahl. It is the right of the man to marry two, three, right? Like Sheikh Abdullah has made mention in the ayah that he read from the beginning. It is, yes, and it is his right. So sometimes we say, it's my right as a man to marry a second wife. So it is not the right of my wife to either say yes or no. Is that not true? It's true. Yeah. Okay, it is the right of your child. You have to decide what the child has to eat, but you cannot force the child to eat any food. Yeah. The same applies to the wife that you are having. If you want to marry someone that's a second wife, it is not her right to prevent you, but it is her right to either love to stay in the marriage or leave the marriage. So Fatima radiallahu anha complained to her father, oh father, my husband wants to marry the daughter of Abu Hakam, and I don't like it. I cannot be in the house with such a woman. The Messenger of Allah came out, gathered the Sahaba, he made introductory, he said, Ali bin Abi Talib want to marry the daughter of Abu Hakam, and Fatima bint Muhammad does not like it. My pleasure is in the pleasure of Fatima, and my displeasure is in the displeasure of Fatima. Either you keep Fatima as your wife and not marry the daughter of Abu Hakam, or marry the daughter of Abu Hakam and divorce Fatima. Wassalamu alaikum. Here, he showed how important a father has to protect his daughter. It is not her right to prevent him from getting married at all, but it is her right to live in happiness in the house. You can bring another woman, but not that woman. I feel I cannot be with her. So it is a situation that before you get married, about marriage, it has to be filled with happiness. If there is no happiness, then you are actually building a destructive house. So now we've got to the point that who to marry, this the Prophet has made us to understand. Then after marriage, what you have to understand is that you should have a journey between you and your wife. And that journey has to be the Quran and the Sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad. If you build your marriage on this, it doesn't mean that even yet you are already married, so it is past. No, you can still do it. You tell your wife, what should be between me and you is Allah and His Messenger. What Allah says, what the Messenger of Allah says is what is between us, and with that, Allah will make barakah in your marriage as time goes on. Then again, when we get married, there is another point here which is very, very important. You have to understand the role of the man and the role of the woman. That is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in our Quran, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu qu anfusakum wa ahlikum nara wa quduha an-nasu alayha malaikatun ghilazun shidad la ya'suna Allah ma amarahum wa ya'malun. So Allah is saying that, oh you who believe, now Allah is pointing out straight to the men, qu anfusakum, you should protect yourselves. Meaning that the protection here is from you, for you to live a life that will protect you from the hellfire. Then the hellfire, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala described the hellfire, that it was not lit with wood, then you just see you light the wood and then it goes for a distraction. No, and it burns and it's over. No, but rather what is being used to light the fire is the body of the human being and of stones. Nothing is going to extinguish the fire. The Prophet Muhammad described the fire for us, and he said, "Narukum havi, this your fire that you use in lighting in this world is only 1% of 70% of fire that Allah had actually set, and Allah has sent only 1% of the fire into this world for us to use in cooking, in burning, all the light, any heat in this world, including the sun, is from the fire of 1% out of 70%, and Allah preserved 69% for those who die offending Allah, or those who die making shirk with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah protect us. So Allah is saying that protect yourself and your family from that fire. So you have to understand, before marriage, by choosing your wife, it is the right of your child for you, on you the father, to build for him a good foundation. That is a good mother. It is the right of your child. And it is the right of your child on his mother to accept a father that is of a good foundation. So if you marry a bad wife, you have cheated your children. And if the woman marry a bad man, she has cheated her children. So in case you marry and you cannot be able to live together because of some differences, you try to settle it. Problems can never leave any individual. Even the Messenger of Allah, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, sometimes his wives, they challenge him at home. They do. Sometimes even for 1 month he doesn't get closer to them. Sometimes 3 days they don't even talk. And this is the Messenger of Allah, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We all know about the story that is very common when Prophet sallallahu abandoned his wives for how long? 1 full month. He couldn't go to any of them. He told them he was angry because of the way the situation went. Of course, when it happened with Aisha radiallahu anha, who made a plan with other wives, because Prophet used to go to his wife to eat the honey, which Allah himself has permitted him to go and eat. And then she made him to understand that that honey that he goes to eat brings some bad smell. And Prophet doesn't want to smell bad, he always wants to smell good. Then he said, okay, I will not go to eat that honey again. And Allah revealed, challenging the Prophet Muhammad why he should refuse to obey Allah because of his wives. Who is that? That's the Messenger of Allah. Lima tuharrim ma halallahu lak. Why are you making what is Allah made halal for you, make it haram because of your wives? Don't we fall in the same situations today? We do. So if the Messenger of Allah fell in the same situation and Allah didn't hide it, Allah revealed it. So if it happens to you today, don't think that you are above the Messenger of Allah. It is a situation that is between the husband and wife. So the Messenger of Allah abandoned his wife for a period of 1 month. This 1 month period, the situation came to the extent that the Sahaba, they heard about the news, and they are always happy when the Messenger of Allah is happy, and they are sad when the Messenger of Allah is sad. And Umar al-Khattab also had one of his daughters, Hafsa, we all know about that. She is a wife of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So as a father, he became worried. He heard someone came to him. That is when you see people take news. News meaning that they do what? I hear something from you, then I go and tell another brother also go to tell someone else. What happens is that when you tell me the news, before I tell the next brother, I spice the news. Okay? So it keeps being spiced until it comes to a place and it becomes very, very untasty. Okay? Correct. That was what happened. The Messenger of Allah abandoned his wives for a period of 1 month. When they heard the news, they kept passing the news until someone knocked Umar the door. Knocked it very hard. Umar said, who is that? He said, I am so and so. He said, why? Has something happened to the Muslims? He said, no. He said, something, the Quran has stopped coming? He said, no. Something happened to the Messenger of Allah? He said, no. He said, then why knocking my door so hard? Then he said, Messenger of Allah has divorced his wives. So you see how the wives, the story was spiced. Umar the said, oh, that would be one of his wives is his daughter. As a father, he has to be concerned. So he dressed himself up, he went to the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Then he told the one who was at the gate, because always there was a gate boy who would come in and tell the Prophet that someone is looking for you. He said, I went in 3 times and the Prophet didn't see anything. So Umar felt that no, Messenger of Allah is now very angry. But he sat down. Then later on when the boy came out, he said, now the Messenger of Allah has permitted you can come in. He went in and he said, you see, when you find someone angry, you would like to say something or do something that will make him at least to smile, so that you can be able to calm or bring your problem. He didn't see what he can say in order to make the Prophet smile. Then he said he looked at the mat that he sleeps on. He said, Messenger of Allah, the people of Rome and so on, their kings are sleeping on mattress. And look at the mattress and look at the type of mat that the Messenger of Allah sleeps on, where he had all the marks on his body. Then the Prophet didn't smile, but rather he replied him by saying that those are the people Allah had already given them their joy in this world, and ours is in the hereafter. Then he said again, I was still looking to see if I can see something that can at least make him smile, so that I can ask him. I didn't see anything. Then I knew that he loved Aisha radiallahu anha more than any of his wives. Then he said, O Messenger of Allah, if you have some thought that you love him more than Aisha. The Prophet smiled. He said, when he smiled, then I sat down. I knew that now the door is open. Then I asked Messenger of Allah, did you divorce or have you divorced your wives? The Messenger of Allah said, no. Then Umar in the same room, shouted, Allahu Akbar. When he shouted, the Sahaba realized that there was something good. Then he said, no, I abandoned them. And after 29 days, he first went to Aisha radiallahu anha. In every step of the Messenger of Allah is deed. When he went after 29 days, Aisha radiallahu anha said, Messenger of Allah, he said, in 1 month, but today is 29 days, I'm counting. Then the Prophet said, yes, a month is either 29 or 30 days. So from here we've learned another knowledge about it. Yeah. So that was how they used to be with the Prophet. They always have these challenges. Then the Messenger of Allah also made us to understand that a woman, no matter how kind you are to her, she knows about it. And she actually remembers every kindness that you do. But woe on you if you do one bad. For a period of 1 year, if you do one bad, she said, I've never seen someone wicked like you. So, such is something that is quite normal. But what you have to understand is what you do between you and your wife. What you have to understand is she is coming to your house. You are the man. It's you who is the one who owns the house. But Allah has made us to understand that when the moment she comes into the house belongs to her. This is no social issue. Allah has made us to understand. That's why he said, La tukhrijuhunna min buyutihin. When you divorce them, don't send them out of their house. So Allah made the house to who? The house of the woman. Because you are a man, you go to work, you do all. So who is taking care of the house? Who knows where things are supposed to be in the house? Who has to do the arrangement and everything? She has to do. Not that she controls you, but it's she who lives in the house more than you. So the house has to run in accordance with the way that she planned. This is Islam. The Prophet Muhammad said that when a woman prays her 5 daily prayers, fast in Ramadan, and obey her husband, on the day of judgment, Allah opens the gates of Jannah and say, enter from whichever door you want. So obedience to your husband is very, very important. Well, Aisha said that in the name of Allah is saying, if Allah had given me permission for a woman to make sujood other than Allah, I would have made the woman to make sujood to what? To the man. Correct. So the woman has to give you the right of respect. She has to prevent herself from any man. And then the third is she has to make sure that the economy of the house is protected. So even Allah has made the woman the finance minister of the house. But that is where our problem lies. The woman, sometimes we die and our monies go to some people. Because we don't make our minds to know how much we have in the bank, how much property we have somewhere. Our money goes to somewhere when our children are the ones who are supposed to inherit us. Because of this trust between us and our wives. And this has to be broken. If without that, that's why I'm saying we die and then we have already offended Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah has made a woman to be responsible for the finance of the house. There is no situation today, like I mentioned, that is not happened before. Today, especially we in Europe, we want to live a life, enjoy marriage like our fathers, but we don't want to go in accordance with the sunnah of our fathers. You know the difference here? When our fathers, when they speak, okay, in the house, everyone is quiet, obedient, fully. Our mothers, they are scared. Why? Because he go to work and he brings job money. Every food in the house comes from his pocket. Sometimes our fathers, they don't have money, but they will make sure when any of the children is born, they will make what? Sooner. No. They will slaughter them. No, even in the village, how the money comes, we don't know. And that is how they have cooperation within the society. You will never see someone eating and his neighbor is hungry. It doesn't go that way. They live, the whole village live like one family. Today it's not like that. And buy a food from the shop, you don't even know what is in the bag. So, because our fathers were men, as Allah says in the Quran, Ar-Rijalu Qawwamuna 'ala an-Nisa. Men, but we, our Qawwam is here. We think that we are stronger, so we have to control. When we are not even able to feed our children, our wives, we're not able to take care of them. The sunnah is anything that is good. Okay, anything that is good, if even it's made by the kafir, you take it. If only it's good for Islam. And Imam Ahmed said, accept the truth if even it's from the kafir. They say, how can the kafir say the truth? They say, well, in the happy, the mura. In the truth, in truthfulness, there's light. So the sunnah we see basically is that they regard their wives to some extent. Of course, they have a system of everyone taking care of herself or himself. But once in a while, they go to buy gifts. Okay? As remember, this sort of small gifts, it brings peace to the house. It brings happiness to the house. It's like, this is their system, of course, but we don't actually sometimes do that. So when we come to the situation whereby the woman is here, she has money from the state, the children have money from the state, and she herself, maybe she's working. So the man is doing only how many jobs? One job. So to that extent, you realize that the man has less money than the woman. Then the problem here is that she also has responsibilities over or on her back. She has father and mother, she has brothers, sisters, uncles, and so on and so forth. Then at that time, you come to a time that everyone is for himself and God for us all. This sort of this sort of situation is very, very critical. What we have to understand is that what belongs to the children is for the children. And who is responsible for the children? Mother or father? Both are responsible for producing father. But the one to care for the family is the mother. But the mother has to go to, I'll give you an example. I don't know if my wife is watching this video. There was a time I wanted to surprise my wife, so I went to the shop to go and buy her shoes. I've never done that before, that was my first time. I went to a shop that I knew that she used to go sometimes to have, just look around. So I brought the shoes, mashallah, very expensive shoes, and then when I brought it to her, she was very, very happy. The last thing she asked me was that, where do I have the receipt? I said yes. Then she took it from me. The following day, I saw her with a different shoes. I asked her why. She said, one, the shoe is very expensive, and two, it's not a taste. I was happy she was going to get her shoes. And I was very lucky that I had the receipt. So, that was one thing I can at least remember. Once in a while, we do this. It doesn't actually spoil anything. It rather brings something good into the house. Because already you are responsible for that. The Prophet Muhammad has made us to understand that dinar, if you have to give money to the poor, or money to the needy, or money to anybody who is actually deserving it, he said, the best among that is to spend the money on your family. And he says that one piece of food you give your wife to eat into her stomach is for you, sadaqah. So money that belongs to the man, according to Islam, is for the family. And money that belongs to the woman is for what? Allah says, Ya ayyuhallazina amanu la yahillu lakum an tarithu nisaa karha. Correct. When you take the money from her and then she's in pain, she may leave it for you, but Allah will write it down. Is that not better? Is that better for you, for Allah to write it down? But she fears you, so she allow you to take it. But you can solve this problem if you sit down and discuss it. To some extent, you have to understand that today is a system whereby the woman can have money and the man can have money. So you discuss on a parallel something. It's not like in our days. The only one who builds is the father. The one who owns everything is the father. Because the father was, he's the only one who used to work. But today, you work, sometimes even your wife has a good job, better job than you. So you have to know, at least, tell her to be like Khadija radiallahu anha, who was richer than the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So she was helping, even helping Islam as a whole. She gave her money for Islam, one of the things that she did, that no woman had ever done, Khadija radiallahu anha. But when the Messenger of Allah asked her to give him something, you don't ask and say, and I will return it to you. That is another thing we have to understand. An example the Prophet ﷺ played for us was that Zayd ibn Haritha used to be a slave and property of Khadija radiallahu anha. So Messenger of Allah wanted to have Zayd. He was a slave radiallahu anhu. He said, Khadija, can you give me Zayd? Then she said, I will lend you Zayd. I'll borrow him to you, but not to give you. So just use him anytime you want, but he is still my property. Messenger of Allah said, no, I will not take him unless you give him to me free. If not, it's okay. That means he's not angry if he refuses. Then she said, okay, I give Zayd to you as a gift. The Prophet took him, then he freed him and named him Zayd bin Muhammad. So his aim was more better. And Zayd also had another problem concerning marriage, which we can also benefit. There was a time he told the Prophet that I would like to marry. He said, who would you like to marry? He said, I would like to marry Zainab bint Jahsh. Zainab bint Jahsh, if you look at the line of relation, she's related to the Prophet in some distance. So he felt she comes from house of prophecy. That her blood comes from a good blood. So when Zayd said he wanted to marry Zainab, the Messenger of Allah said, it's okay. I'm the Messenger of Allah. I can marry to anyone that you want or you would like to marry. Then he told Zainab, Prophet told Zainab, Zayd would like to marry you. She said, Astaghfirullah. This slave. He said, but now he's free. He's no more a slave. But still, he had been a slave before. So that it is still on him. The Messenger of Allah said, you will marry her. She said, I will not marry her. Among the wives of the Prophet, she was the one that is very hard. Okay, that if she's hungry, she just picks up straight away. She doesn't mind anything. She's like a Zungo woman. So she replied immediately, I will not marry him. He said, you will. He said, Messenger of Allah, you love him, but I don't love him. Then Allah said, وَمَا كَانَ لِمُؤْمِنٍ
ولا مؤمن إذا قضى الله ورسوله أمرا أن يكون لهم الخيرة من
Can you read it for us, inshallah?
وما كان لمؤمن ولا مؤمنة إذا قضى الله ورسوله أمرا أن يكون لهم الخيرة من أمرهم.
Good. So Allah also interfered in what was happening between the Prophet and Zayd at that time. Then Allah said, it's not befitting for a believing man or a believing woman when Allah and His Messenger decree a matter that they will have an opinion. Then she said, I give up. Allah has already come in. Okay. But something is natural. I don't love him. Allah now said, you also say, that's okay. Marriage was done. They went into to live as man and wife. The situation was that, cut it short, she turns Zayd night to day, his day to night. I think you can understand. Okay. So, Zayd maybe night hardly can he sleep. It came to a time he himself went and told the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Messenger of Allah, dissolve the marriage. So you see the importance of not forcing a woman into marriage. Maybe in the beginning she might be weak and she will agree, accept the marriage, but it may come to a time she will never be able to remain or stay in the marriage because the man is not her taste. And this is natural with every human being. You love him or you don't love him. This is very important. We say, first with that deen, take because of her deen. The deen comes first, but any of the things that come within the, beauty is very, very important. So if you marry someone you love, no matter how much she changed in future, you still love her. But the love being transferred, first he is the only one. Now you see, this is part of me. I love her. Everything, you go with her everywhere, you do things with her. Then secondly, when she gives birth, the love increases. It decreases from the way of beauty, whether she put makeup or not. No, what is important is the child. This is from me and her. The love is transferred through the children issue now. So you know she's so important. The child, you make the child to who teaches or who teaches the children who the father is? Correct. The mother, you are a foreigner. The mother after that, when the child is given, after that you come in, then she say you are here. When Allah mentions anything about parents in the Quran, he will say parents, but when he mentioned about one of them, he said mother, because of the importance of mother. The moment the child is born and then given to the child knows very well that this is my mother. SubhanAllah. So the love is transferred from that to the child. Then while the children grow, they decide how much love you should have for their mother. Why? Because of the way they show concern between you and their mother. So the love continue, correct. It's all the time having something that is new in order to make sure that you always remember one another. That is why the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, after the death of Khadija radiallahu anha, every time he used to think about her. Even when he's with Aisha radiallahu anha, we know very well that she was jealous, even jealous of a woman that is already dead. Then Prophet was sitting one day, he heard some voice, someone was coming to the house. He said, oh, I hope this is the voice of the sister of Khadija radiallahu anha, someone who used to come to visit them in these days. Whenever he slaughters, he make them to send part of the meat for her. All because of what? Remembering Khadija. And the day he was imagining that lady will come in, because of the voice he heard, actually the woman appeared. Aisha became very, very impatient. He said, you are with me and you are thinking about an old dead lady who is in a grave. And the singer father said, she loved me when anyone refused me. No. She held me with courage and her money when everyone refused me. And she gave me children that no one had ever given. No. He never speaks about beauty. So you see, and then the woman, Allah gave him the victory to take over Makkah. What happens when a president or someone becomes a president in Ghana? The first thing he does is that he goes to build house in East Legon, or what is it? Correct. The Messenger of Allah took over the whole of Makkah. The first thing after destroying the idols, he said, send me to the grave of Khadija. So love is very important, and love is concern. You are with your wife, always let her know that she is always loved. This is very, very important. And the love can always be translated not in the beauty. Even the beauty, you always have to let her know that she's beautiful. Even if she's not today like before. The Messenger of Allah said, there are only 3 times we can lie, correct? Lie for your life, or the second is what? Sorry, can someone remind? Either because of your correct, your deen, to protect your deen, and the third one is if we talk about beauty, looking at you alone can translate beauty. She knows sometimes that you are not serious. But when you tell her that she's beautiful, she will smile. Or you tell her that you love her, she will smile. This is very important. And what is also important in marriage, in accordance with the deen of the Prophet Muhammad is to keep secret that is between you and your wife. Even Ali bin Abi Talib said, do not be so jealous about your wife until people suspect your wife. Jealous in the sense of, oh, I think you go to here, I think you do this, I think you do that, when it's not true. Then people will believe that if she is not doing, you will not say it. So jealousy, it has to have a limit. Then you don't have to give your wife out to people. She's not supposed to be for people, but you yourself don't have to give her out to people. What does that mean? You want people to praise you. Wallahi, I saw your wife yesterday, mashallah, the way she was walking, mashallah, mashallah. This is un-Islamic. And we have a tradition in our days. When we were kids and our fathers and mothers, you will come to a house, the woman is not wearing hijab, maybe only one cloth, but he knows deep inside his heart, this is someone's wife. And everything is very, very peaceful. Today is not like that. Today your responsibility is your responsibility. Your house has to be your secret. No one has to know anything about your family. Not even your blood brother should know what is between you and your wife, because he can marry her. If he were not his and her husband, he could have married her. So it's not halal for he to be with your wife alone. Islamically, it is not allowed. We have traditions and so on. In any case, we're talking exactly how we have to be with our wives. The next thing is that we also have to understand, no matter how the situation is, let's try as much as possible to live a very simple life. Things we cannot be able to do, let's not force to do it. What we can do, we do. Because it is jihad for you to look for halal. The Prophet Muhammad in a hadith that was narrated by Bukhari, he said, going to look for halal to feed your family is jihad. He said, what is more pleasing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is what a man can earn through the struggle of his own hands. Then he mentioned that Dawood alayhi salam was a carpenter, this was a farmer. Prophets, they had professions. It is more better to struggle to get money to feed your family. That becomes a jihad, and Allah reward you for feeding your family because you have taken your responsibility. Then also, what we have to be very serious about is to make sure that even if you're not able to teach your wife much about the deen, make sure what she's supposed to know, she knows it. Her 5 daily prayers, it has to go in accordance with the prayers of Prophet Muhammad. Her fasting. So many, it will come to a time that sometimes your wife becomes more stronger than you in the deen. You understand? I'm not saying you should ask my wife, but I'm suspecting something like that. In any case, sometimes you see them, they are fasting extra. If I see my wife's fasting extra, maybe Monday, Thursdays, I say, okay, next week I'll also start. Next week I don't start. Another week I'll start. You have to look for excuse, but you have to be happy. But where it's very, very important for you is that when she doesn't know about her prayer, it's your responsibility. So many women miss so many prayers because of their period. And you have to have this knowledge so that you can guide your child. Let's say this is Asr time. Now it's 5:15. And let's say Maghrib will be 5:30. If the blood, menstrual blood, menstruation, she's menstruation, right? It ends 1 rak'ah before Maghrib, she has to pray Dhuhr and Asr. Because the blood has ended up before Maghrib. If it ends before the Subh prayer, she has to pray Isha and Maghrib that had passed here. Are we having, of course, the ulama, alhamdulillah, they teach you this. So, these type of situations, you have to make sure your wives know. Because our wives, they always start the blood okay, and always it ends up in the night. And don't know if it's true. Because they always wash at night. So, this is the situation, because if one does that, the prayer actually is on her. And the one who has to make her know is who? Is you. That is another responsibility that you carry on your head. Good. Then finally, I know time is going. I would not like to take a lot of time. I would like us to talk about when problems do arise. Like I mentioned, the Messenger of Allah is a very good example. Whenever there is problem, he himself had to go through the problems. It doesn't mean your wife is bad. Sometimes the problem is you. Someone went to a scholar of those days and asked him, "Oh, Sheikh, I have a problem with my wife. What is it? She doesn't respect me." Then he said, "Look at the relation between you and Allah. Maybe you also have a problem with your Lord. You clean that problem and Allah will make you respect you." Your relationship between you and Allah and your relationship between you and your wife herself. This is very, very important. Then some of the problems, they are known as qadar. Allah is trying you. There was a scholar who used to teach his children, meaning that his students, the rights of man and the rights of woman, how you have to be more strict on your wife and so on, what is your right and what is the right of the woman. One day they were at his house learning. They saw a lady who came out. For about 10 minutes she was insulting the sheikh, and the sheikh was quiet. Insulting and raising her voice. After that she gets insulted and then left. Then the students were very surprised. Then he said, "Do you know who that lady was?" He said, "No." He said, "That was my wife." Why? He said, "Well, I don't know. I've been very kind to her for 30 years. She has never smiled to me. But when I remember the ayah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, where he say, وَلَا تُكْرِهُهُنَّ عَسَىٰ أَن تَكْرَهُوا شَيْئًا
عسى أن تحبوا شيئا وهو شر لكم عسى.
The ayah from the surah, from the verse we're reading here. لا يحل لكم أن ترثوا النساء كرها ولا
تعضلوهن لتذهبوا بعض ما آتيتموهن إلا أن يأتين بفاحشة
مبينة
وعاشروهن
بالمعروف فإن كرهتموهن
فعسى أن تكرهوا شيئا ويجعل الله فيه خيرا كثيرا.
So Allah is saying that if you dislike them or you show hatred to your wives, you may hate your wife and Allah may make something better in them. Ibn Abbas translated this ayah and said that better Allah mentioned in that verse is Abu Jahl. He said, "You see, the boy who was here with me, he is 10 years old. He has memorized the Quran and he thinks like an elderly person." That was the child of this lady. He has come to insult me and everything, but if I think of the child, and I think of the ayah where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed that you may hate something and Allah will make through her a good child. So sometimes these are known as qadar. If you have a problem with your wife, let it be in your house. No one can solve a problem. You have to understand that. There are people, when they hear you have a problem, mashallah, they become happy. They don't know why you don't have problems. Even sometimes they try to ask and know whether you have problems. And if you don't want to have problems, they build problems for you. Sometimes they can send other women to your wife to ask whether there is something going between you and your husband. Why? The Prophet Muhammad said, "Hide the secret of your family." There was a man who had a problem with his wife. They asked him what the problem is. He said he cannot reveal the secret of his wife because she's still his. after he divorced her and she got married to someone else, they came to ask him, what was the problem between you and your wife? He said, I can't reveal the secret of someone's wife. So no one knew why until they divorced, and no one knew again why until they are married. So what we have to understand is that your secret is your house. Let the Quran and the Sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad be between you. Do not have interest in what belongs to your wife. If you need something from her, ask her. It is her right. If she refuses, don't be angry. Let her build mansions. Finally, it will belong to your children. Then why do you envy her? She has mother and father. She has brother and sister. She takes care of them. You take care of yours. Sometimes you take care of what belongs to her, or sometimes she also has to take care of what belongs to you. This is known as a family. You come together, then you live together in peace and harmony. What is important is that don't take anything that belongs to her when she is not happy, because Quran has made it haram. If you go against that, then it means you have offended Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So whatever she gives you is sadaqah for her, and whatever you give her is sadaqah for you. And with this being light of Allah, I'll come to the end of my lecture. Whatever I say that is right is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah make his benefit from it. And whatever I say that is wrong is from me and from Satan. Allah forgive us all. And with this I say, I'm very, very happy to be here with brothers and sisters. Nothing I've said here that is that is strange. Alhamdulillah, my ulama have made me also to gain a lot while seated here. And I'm very, very happy, alhamdulillah, to be with brothers and sisters who are here just for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah reward us all. May Allah make our parents be in Jannah. Those who are dead, may Allah make their place of paradise. And those still alive, may Allah make us those of Jannah for our children. And may Allah make our children more better than us. Our wives, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give them more iman. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also give them more sabr to live with us. And may Allah always guide us onto the right way that we can be able to live together. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us die while our children are making dua for us. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make our children more better than us. And with this we have come to the end. Subhanallah wa bihamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.
Allahu Akbar. Takbir. Takbir. MashaAllah, Sheikh Sherif. Jazakallahu khairan. As I already said, Sheikh Sherif will be with us the whole tour of this evening. Inshallah, within a short time, we will start the question and answers, or it's better we pray Asr, and after the Asr we do the question and answers. So try to be thinking about the question and answer, the questions you are going to question Sheikh. I'm going to translate it very shortly, inshallah, and then we'll pray Asr. After Asr, we'll come back again, inshallah. Sheikh began his lecture after praising Allah and saying salutation to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He let us know that as we are sitting up, he's speaking English. Sheikh, nachdem Sheikh Allah Lob gepriesen habe und Segen an den Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam geschickt habe, hat Sheikh uns die Wichtigkeit von so einem Treffen beigelegt. Er sagte immer, wenn die Sahaba, wenn die Brüder und Schwestern